Good morning and welcome to What's Going Live with Swagger. And I am your host, Kathy Blaze Jefferson. And I am so excited to have another Miss Jefferson here today. Welcome, Erica.
Hey y'all.
So, we are so excited to have you here today to speak about your business. And I'm ready to talk about some sugar, girl. You know what? Out of all the products I buy, that's usually my favorite.
Oh,
I
for
love
real.
I love a nice sugar scrub. I must say that. I love a
Girl,
nice sugar scrub.
look, a good sugar scrub nowadays is literally hard to find. That's why I had to create a product because a lot of people buy what's in stores. And I tell people a
Yes,
lot of them ingredients are so cheap. Y'all thinking y'all getting a whole deal and a steal whole time. No, baby. That's why your shower, you slipping and sliding and gliding. That
that is
never.
true. Well, Miss Erica Jefferson is an award-winning beauty entrepreneur, licensed cosmetologist, two-time certified sugaring specialist, published author, speaker, beauty industry educator, and mentor dedicated to helping women, building confidence from the inside out. As the founder and CEO of Snatching Bodies Beauty Bar and Opulent Skin Bar, Erica has become a respected voice in beauty entrepreneur and women's empowerment. Welcome, Erica, and thank you for all that you do to make us women look beautiful and feel beautiful from the inside out.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you for having me.
So, Erica, first off, where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Gloucester, Virginia. That's where
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, that's kind of where I was born. Around sixth grade, I moved to Newport News, Virginia, and then that's where I kind of stayed until I actually opened up my business in Hampton. So I didn't even move to Hampton until like 2020 because I just wanted to be
okay.
closer. Because my breaks was taking too long to go home, and it was going over my nap time. And yeah,
So, you're an entrepreneur and you've been doing this for quite a while. What was it that got you into this industry? What inspired you?
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It was the money at first. And for being transparent, it was the money. All I seen was dollars because I got my first wax, and I'm literally laying on the table, legs wide open, no clothes on, and I'm asking the girl 1,000 questions. And I'm like, mind you, I'm at an appointment. I don't even know how much I'm paying. I'm just there because I'm like, I need to try something else. Shaving is not working. The razor ain't
Mm.
working. I'm tearing up my skin. So I'm asking the girl like, how much is this service? And during that time, she was like, "Oh, it's 50." And I'm like, "Well, how long I'm gonna be here?" And she was like, "Oh, we'll be done in probably like 15, 20." And we was done in 15, 20. So in the
Okay.
mix, I'm a numbers person. I've always been if I ain't know nothing else in math, I knew how to count my money. so I yeah, I knew how to count my money. So I'm asking her a question. I'm like, well, how many people do you normally do, in an hour? She's like, oh, average like two. So my man, because she was working for a company. So my man, I'm like, so you basically making $100 an hour. I said, well, you're making the company $100 an hour. And she was just
Right.
like, yeah. So then my gears started to go like that ain't no normal, I'm used to, and during that time I had a full-time job, and the full-time job I had, I might have been making maybe $12 an hour. So in my mind, I'm like $100 an hour. And I was doing hair and makeup too. But in my mind, I'm like, it kind of take longer for you to get what you need with hair. Like for this sewing, it take me about 3-4 hours just for me to make
Uh-huh.
about $200. So I'm like, nah. I'm like, so then that's what made me kind of do my own research. I started digging heavy into it, looking for people to train me, which was like the hardest part. I struggled with that for like 2 years.
Mm.
And when I ended up going to a seminar, and it was crazy how it happened. I ended up going to a seminar and ran into someone that she had her own waxing spa, and she literally said she was like, "Well, I only train people that work for me." So I'm like, "Dang." And she was like, "But I'd rather train you on sugaring because a lot of people don't know about it." Mind y'all, I did not know. I didn't even know what a sugaring was. When the wax I
Right.
had first originally got was hard wax. That's what most people know. Hard wax or
Mm.
soft wax for your brows. So I'm like, okay, what's that? I'm lost. I'm like, okay, what's that? But I was just open to learning because at this point, nobody is acting like they want to train me, and I'm willing to pay. But I'm like, okay, nobody wants to train. So when she said that, I said, okay. I was like, well, dang, she only trained in, the people that she hired. Then she follows up and says, I just posted on Indeed that I'm hiring. So let me know if you want. I said, seriously? She said, yeah, I need a tech. So in my mind, people just like to talk. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I ain't gonna lie, I thought she was just lying. I was like, maybe that just sound good because we in the era, whatever. I went home that very night and looked, and it literally said it went on Indeed. The business name came and it literally said posted 1 day ago. So then I hit her up because I had her contact and I was like, look, I'm interested. Because at that point I was just like, I'm just open to it. And then it just it went from just me learning to me, like, that's what people know me as, like, oh, Erica the sugarista, oh, Erica the sugaring specialist, because I capitalize off of it instead of
Okay. So I want to
anything
stop
else. So
you
yeah.
right there, Miss. I want to stop you right there, Miss Erica, because we kind of jumped ahead. So just for those that don't know what a sugaring specialist is, let's tell them what that is, and we can keep going from there.
Okay. The simplest form is basically an all natural and organic way of hair removal. Is
Okay.
basically a type of waxing, and it's just natural and organic, so it's healthier for the skin, and especially for people that have sensitive skin, and also specifically for people of our skin.
Okay. Okay. So it's less abrasive than the other types of waxes that most people do?
Yes. I say, in my personal opinion, having both, yes, but I also tell people it's going to be based off of person experience as well.
Okay. Okay. You're cutting out a little bit. Um,
You said I am?
someone, yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. Someone says that sounds much better than waxing.
It is. I've had both. So I mean, in my personal opinion, the results are also better too.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell us about the experience of sugar waxing or sugaring? I mean, what is
Okay.
the experience like?
So basically, I use a sugar paste that I mold into a ball with my hand, and it's the actual ball taken. And what it's doing is removing the hair from the follicle. So it actually pulls the hair from the root, going with the hair growth versus
Okay.
against it. A lot of wax goes against it.
Oh, okay. 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 So I wanted to ask this. Is Snatching Bodies Beauty Bar. First off, where'd that name come from? And tell me about that. Look, I mean, she
Erica,
out here
look here.
snatching bodies and giving y'all sugar.
Crazy part, my mom named my business. I had a whole
Okay, I
different
love
name for it. Yeah, I had a whole different name, and I was like, it ain't catchy enough. And literally within not even 5 seconds, the second name that came out her mouth was that. And I said, say it again. And I just met him, and I said, Mom, that's it. And she was just like, that's it. And I was like, that's it. I was like, I wanted a name that was gonna have people like, what the heck? Like, what is that? So yeah,
hmm
she named it.
Wow, wow. So you started off in your industry doing hair and makeup. What was it? Well, you kind of went over what inspired you to move over, but what inspired you to get into the products face skincare line also?
My skin, honestly, I've dealt with ingrowns, hyperpigmentation, which is usually like discoloration, dark spots, irritation, sensitivity, and a lot of products I was buying over the counter, it just wasn't working. Like, I'm just spending my
Hmm.
money, spending my money, spending my money, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this not working. So I was just like, I'm going, and it was crazy because people kept saying you need to come out with your own line, but they didn't know I already had things in the works. So it kind of was already designed because I was sending all my clients like elsewhere to buy products in the beginning because we didn't like I didn't have no retail, and then the business I had, they did have retail, but I ain't trying to be funny. It was trash. In my personal opinion, it just was trash. So I was still sending them elsewhere. And I made commission off of it, but I just like, if it ain't working, it's not working. So, and
Right.
that just really inspired me to capitalize off of, this is the problem in our community and we need a solution for it, because that's
Mm,
what a lot of us, just being in a business, especially a business where it's majority women coming to me, that's what I see. They don't know what to use on their skin. They don't, the first thing,
true.
what am I supposed to use down there? How am I supposed to moisturize? What am I supposed to, and then they're either, they think they're doing it, and when I start asking them about the products that they use, oh, it goes left. They go so far.
Um,
I'll be like, baby, put the Vaseline down. I get it. That's what we
yeah,
grew up on. I
that's
understand.
true.
Yeah, but we got it's new age and new things, and it's too much stuff out here that you can actually, that is going to like help with your skin. So that's what really made me just kind of decide to do my own thing, because I was just like, I'm tired of going to the store wasting money on products just because they're cheap and they're not doing nothing.
That's true. And that's one of the major problems because I know I have that experience is that we we don't know what to get for our skin. And we're buying all this stuff and it don't work, so we go buy more stuff, it don't work. We just have a cabinet full of stuff that we can't
Stuff.
use and we end up throwing it away. And we don't know what it's actually doing to our skin, if it's compatible for us or not. So we may be causing other problems with the products that we're buying. So it's a great thing to have someone like you or other individuals that specialize in this and know what products we should be utilizing for our skin. So I want to say thank you for that because I know I my daughter has eczema, so I try to find things that's sensitive for her skin and then things that works for her dryness also. So and that's
Oh,
hard.
okay.
And that's
It's
hard.
very hard. Yeah, it's very hard because you got to, with eczema is tricky too, because you got to deal with the inflammation, the irritation of it, the scratching,
Hmm.
the itching.
Oh
So, and
yes.
it's, yeah, so eczema comes in so many different forms. I, even at my grown age, I'm just now experiencing eczema. I'm like, okay, I'll wait till I'm in my
Hmm.
30s and now I got this like, I was fine. What's going on? But then a lot of it's the
Yes.
food we eat, and a lot of
Hmm.
it's the air. It
Yeah.
is the stuff we put on. It's a lot of times people don't know it's the detergent you putting on your clothes. I always tell people, when you
Right.
see new and improved, y'all, they switch the formalization, which you have to be
Hmm.
careful, because I have actually had clients that had chemical burns for certain stuff
Oh
they put on.
wow.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. So I also created my healing balm, which is my top seller, and it helps with things like you address, like dry skin, eczema, inflammation, chafing of the legs, irritation, cuts, bruises. Because and I found that out from my clients. I really just created it mainly for to help people with their ingrowns. And my
Mm.
clients started to experiment, and I found out it worked for more than just one thing. So yeah.
Yeah. And you're throwing out a lot of terms that we experience and people may not even know. Explain what ingrowns are, please.
So ingrowns are like those little bumps that you see come up that have hairs in them
Mm,
that sometimes cause irritation, sometimes they can
yeah.
hurt, and they cause like the bumps that raise off of the skin. And a lot of times with the ingrown, what it is growing, but as it's trying to grow, basically the pattern then got messed up. So it
Mm,
starts to curl up under there, and that's how that bump ends up forming. So I tell some people, when you get an ingrown removed, sometimes you ever feel like, ooh, that feel like relief. Like it don't hurt no more, or it's not irritated no more. It's because that hair was up under there.
yeah. And we have seen some people that have some vicious ingrowns. And you know what? We talk about confidence, and that is something that no one can walk around with and be confident with their skin inflamed like that, and then the pain that you're speaking of. And you know what? And we see it mostly in our community, and especially with
Yes.
men. We see it a lot more. Well, I've seen it a lot more in men than I have in women. And you
Hmm.
feel so bad for it. Um, and that's where opulent skincare is credited to addressing those concerns. Can you talk about opulent skincare, please?
Yeah, so Opulent Skin Bar basically it has four different products. So it's the healing balm, like I was explaining, very small but very impactful. It's my top number one seller, which was funny because I didn't know it was gonna do what it did, but God had other plans. Um, as comes in 1 cent because it's specifically made for like your intimate areas, like small areas,
Oh,
especially when you're looking at what do I use to moisturize your Brazilian? Because I think some people think you're not supposed to moisturize down there, and whether
uh,
you shave, whether you trim, you're supposed to it's skin. You
yes,
moisturize. So I always tell people if y'all moisturize your face, you're supposed to moisturize everything. And I mean
right.
that's a lot of people miss that.
But
So that happens.
these are things that people don't talk about. I
Mm-mm.
mean, you know what? They don't even, they sneak and go. Look, I said they sneak and go get waxed or whatever.
And you know
But
what?
people,
And the funny part with that, I will say too, is you know how when people tell you like going to the gym is 20%, the 80% is what you eat. That's how I tell
yes.
people getting a wax is, or even just whether you get a wax or whether you shave. Because I made my products even for people that shave or just trim.
Uh-huh.
Waxing might not be for you, and that's fine.
Right,
But I
right,
made it for the people, like I said, like us that's dealing with certain, issues and pinpoints. So when you're looking at, what to moisturize with, because you're supposed to moisturize, a lot of times people don't realize like what you're doing to your skin is the 20%. The other 80% is your home care. That's the exfoliating 2 to 3 times a week with an all natural sugar scrub. That's the moisturizer every day, every other day, because you're sweating, your sweat glands, your pores are open.
right.
So that's drying your skin out. And I call it what it is, your underwear too tight. Yeah, some of y'all like to wear thongs. I mean, realistically, all the rubbing and friction. And then some
That's
girls a
true.
little thick, so
Yeah,
the thighs rubbing together. I know, 'cause
yeah.
I'm a little slim thick, so I get it. So that, and then I created the sugar scrubs. So I have sugar scrubs, I have body butters, and I have also body oils. Everything's all natural, organic. I actually I named my product line Opulent Skin Bar, based off of a martini bar. I named
Okay.
it. Yeah, anybody that know me, girl, I'm a lemon drop girly, bad. so, so it's for that woman that wants to romanticize her life. Like your life
Hmm.
ain't surrounded around your man. Your life ain't surrounded around your family, your kids, your co-workers. I really wanted it to be where it's like if I can romanticize self-care outside of everybody else that's around me and I'm in the house and I just want to step out and just smell good, look good. That whiff when you walk past somebody and they be like, dang, what you got on? That
Right.
Yeah, that's why I created it, because I feel like a lot of us, where you like you were saying about confidence, that's where a lot of us as women lack. We can act like we show up like we're confident, but it's really the inside and how you look. But as
Yeah.
a lot of times people don't realize what you do on the outside, it does affect what you do on the inside. It's not everything, no. But I don't know about nobody else. But when I get my hair done, I be feeling like I'm the
That
newest thing walking in
that
town.
is true. That is true. And you know what? And you know it goes both ways because when you're taking care of the inside and you feel good on the inside, it's going to show on the outside. So it all
Mhm.
goes together. Like you said, that 80% is major. What we're putting in our bodies. I mean, mentally, physically. I mean, everything that we're putting in our body makes us. It just shines outward.
Yep.
So that 20% on the outside, I mean it. I mean it's holding hands with that 80%, honey. Well, one of our guests want to know what's the website information, please. Let's make sure we give that.
Okay, it's opulent. Because some people get it mixed up. OPULENT skinbar.com.
Okay. Okay. And I know they usually put it here in the chat group also. Miss Francesca says, I just experienced eczema almost 40 a few years ago. Yes. And you know, that's
Um,
another thing, and I've brought it up several times, is that with eczema, stress triggers. There's things that happen in our life trigger stress. Because I know when
mhm.
my daughter developed it, it was during a stage in her life that something had occurred. And she was probably around 12 years old when her stress is just like, She just broke out from
Mm.
head to toe with this fine rash on her body. And then
Ooh.
after that, yeah, it started off really weird, and it changed to just the areas of where she got hot at, and in her inner
Oh yeah.
arms and behind her
In their
knees.
arms. Mhm.
Yes, yes. And those are the areas that she get it now during the summertime or when she starts to sweat. But when it initially hit her, it was like from head to toe, she broke out with this fine rash. And it was like, she's like, I'm
Oh Lord.
here.
That's how I felt when mine came. I was like, and I kept trying to think it was something else, and somebody was like, it might be eczema. But you know,
Mm,
in my 30s, I don't want to hear that. So I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you can develop it at a late age. I'm sitting here
yes,
looking at them like, what? But they said the same. They was like, it could be stress, it could be your hormones,
yes.
it could be like the air. They was like, it could be so many different things. And I was just like, okay, this is a thing. And it was crazy because I had already
Mhm.
created the product line, and I was using the healing balm not for that. I was using it for something else. I said, well, god dang, guess I got another thing I can add on to the bucket list.
Yeah. So the healing balm is something that we all can use. I mean, is that what you call it? Is just the healing balm? Okay,
The
that's
healing
how they
balm.
would find it on your website because there's so
Yeah.
many of us that deal with dry skin and eczema and other skin disorders and some of the other issues that you were addressing about after our body parts, our lady parts, or whatever we want to call it. We may be able to utilize the healing balm for those areas as well. So
Yep.
Ms. Lakeisha says, love it, and thank you for the website information.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you can also follow me on Instagram. It's Opulent Skin Bar as well.
You are committed to empowering our next generation for women entrepreneurs. And then you mentioned earlier how when you tried to start this, you were trying to get someone to train you and to help you, and you were running into these walls until you met this person. Um, so you're setting up this program so that women don't have to feel alone. I mean,
Yeah.
we all have a gift that we're given, but sometimes we just don't know how to take that next step. And it's always nice to have someone to walk with us for a little bit till we get there. So,
Yeah.
as a mentor, you're really recognized in that area, being someone that's willing to help others. How does that
Mhm.
make you feel, Erica?
You know what? I'll be more in disbelief. I just be chilling. I promise you, I'll be chilling. I'll be chilling and I mind my business. And when they say mind your business, drink your water. That's it. But it makes me feel good because I'm not gonna lie, this wasn't what, to be honest, this none of this snatching bodies beauty bar. This is
Mm,
not my plan. This is God's plan. And the only reason why I say that is because I seen some of this, but to this caliber, no. And to be able to even help other people, and it's funny because they come to me like, you don't mentor, you don't. So girl, for over a year, I was just I ain't gonna say in denial. I was just like, why y'all want me to mentor you? Like, I was just like, why? And it was like, well, why not? They was like, Erica, you just have so much. And sometimes once you kind of keep hearing it and you keep hearing it,
mm,
keep hearing, and I just kept saying, all right, Erica. And then I think part of it is too, I'm in the part of my career where it's like I love my clients, like I love them down. But I'm also understanding that's not my end goal. My end goal isn't to service people till I'm 60, 70 years
you're
old.
right.
Yeah, like my goal, I really want to help beauty pros in the industry that's trying to figure it out, because it's a lot of people in my same line of work and they only making a quarter what I make. And I'm just sitting here like, how? Because I'm thinking what
Mm,
I make is normal to everybody. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how I can get some out. But the whole
uh,
time they're like, girl, no, I'm lucky if I make, 5K a month. And I'm just like, well, I ain't trying to be funny. How y'all survive? Because the way my bills be looking, like, I got stuff I got going on. So I seen the problem. And,
uh,
and and the reality of it is, like they say, find the problem, create the solution. And I see
correct.
other people, they're out here doing it. But it's even where I've taken classes, I've had mentorships. and it's crazy, and I'm not trying to pick nobody's business apart, but I always see the gaps in where I can even
Mm,
fix, where I can make it even better. So it's
mm,
like when I see that, I'm just like, y'all, there's no way you're telling me you're not making money out here. You just gotta go get the money. Like,
right.
yeah, and I'm just I love helping people. And I think I love helping, I love serving people, and I'm one of the people. I honestly, I tell people my blessings literally come from God Himself.
Mm,
However it comes from Him. I'm not that person where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and
mhm.
oh, I'm looking for this back. I literally did like 6 giveaways last week for my anniversary. I stay giving back to not only the community but
Giving
my
back.
clients.
You
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, because I want to be in business without them. Like, that's the
Yeah.
reality of it. I don't take stuff like that lightly, because I was working a 9 to 5, and don't get me wrong, I'm not too good to go back. But me and
Mm.
God have daily prayers, and Lord knows I don't want to.
But you know what? Speaking about entrepreneurs, you know what? I always say it's not for the faint at heart. You know what?
Mm-mm.
A lot of people think that, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be a success at it, but they may know how to color hair or they're fabulous at putting up makeup, but they may not be great in the marketing part or all the other the products and things like that. They have one piece that they're
Mm-hmm.
good at, and that's when it comes to the point where they need a Erica or someone to walk them through those other pieces where those gaps are that you were mentioning. And that's
Yeah.
why being having a mentor or taking workshops and all those things are so important. And we can't be afraid to take that extra step when it comes to our
No.
business, unless like you said, if that's all you want to do is you just want to, I just want to color hair, that's all I want to do.
And then the thing is, a lot of us, because reality, we learn the skill, we don't
Mm,
learn the business side. So when you
right.
see, and I always tell people, when you see investors and they be like, they won't never in their business, how can they say they understand business? The thing is, the
Mm,
business model, it don't, the model don't change, it's still a business. You just have
mm,
to fit the model into your business or into that business you're acquiring. But that's why investors can come in, take over a business, catapult it, and you be like, well, they knew nothing about it, but they didn't have to. All they
mm,
had, because actually a smart CEO, we ain't even talking about a business owner, like a smart CEO is going to come in and delegate anyway. That's why them people can make millions of dollars. That's why
right.
they're not sitting there working. Their work is their mental. They're coming in
Right.
saying, hey, this is what we need to do. We need to come up with a strategy. We need to
Mm,
find out how we're going to execute. And this is the deadline. See, our
mm.
problem is we will say, I'm going to do this. And you said that back June of last year, and this June of this year, and you still ain't did nothing.
That's true. That is true. That is true. But again, I'd like to say that, you know, we see the vision, but we just don't know how to get there.
Hmm.
And
I agree.
we're so concerned about what this person is over here doing or not doing instead of working on our vision, because you know what, Erica can't stop anyone else from getting to whatever it is they need to, and we need to focus on, and sometimes you know what, working together is so beneficial, and we're
Yes.
so afraid to work with each other, and I mean, that has to stop too. So thank you for being a
Yes.
mentor and working so hard with our next generation of women. And I mean, because you know what, if someone doesn't help them get there, there's going to always be those gaps in there and in their
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So, Miss Erica, you also are a published author and a
Yes.
collaborative book. Can you tell us about that experience?
That experience that experience was very interesting, because I knew Sasha for like years actually, and then she had this idea, and I was like, oh, I gotta be in that, like I gotta do that. And I've reached out to her. I got the information, and it's basically a book of different entrepreneurs and their journey. And of
Okay.
course, yep. And of course, she just was like, "You need to do it." I was just like, she was like, "Cause you got a story." So I was just like, I'm open to doing it, and we just did it. It got released back in October of last year, and it's just been good because different connections, like you said, different collaborations. Even seeing
Mm.
she's even talking to her has even opened my mind because every time we talk, I mean, she'll take one of my ideas, girl, and now we got a whole ecosystem full of stuff. And I'm like, every time I get on the phone with you or we message it,
I
and she's
love it.
like, yeah, she's like, we gotta do this. I'm like, I ain't mad at it because
Right.
you
'Cause
didn't
you know
spark
what?
my brain.
Sometimes you think you know all this and you have all these things you want to do until you sit down and start having a brainstorming meeting with someone and you go, wow, I didn't even think of that.
Literally,
That
and
is
that's literally every
awesome.
time that's literally what she does. So she
Wonderful.
has opened my mind into like even different like streams of income, even stuff like out the country,
Oh,
stuff
wow.
that people aren't we think and I don't know who's on like on this live right now, but I'm going to tell you thinking too small.
Mm.
Like you got to think so big, it blow your mind that it's so scary that it has to feel like it's unattainable.
Oh,
But you
yes.
got to understand that if you know that God is with you, nothing is never not unattainable
Oh, wow.
because he's in
Yeah.
the midst. So it's like when she even was telling me, so I'm sitting here, you know how everything like start to dissect to you, and I'm just like, wait. I literally had to tell her, I was like, stop. I was like, because I'm by this time, I'm like, I need my notepad, I need my stuff. But you like I need all my stuff, but you also need people around you that's going to feed into you. The same way if
Mm.
you're pouring into someone else, you
Mm.
have to be able to have people to pour into you. But also I will tell
True.
people this, because this is part of y'all confidence. Y'all got to stop pouring into other people and you ain't pouring back into you because you are pouring from a
That's
glass that
true.
is about to shatter. And that's
That
just
is
what it
true.
is.
That is so true. And that happens so often. I had one of my coaches told me, I had to sit me down and said, Kathy, you have to stop. You just have to stop. I mean, even one of my best friends even said it. I'm like, you know what?
Mhm.
But I'm one of those people. I love helping other people. I love
Yep.
seeing other people shine, seeing them grow. But you know what? Sometimes they're just sitting back waiting on you to do all the work, or you're doing all the pouring. You're pouring into their glass.
Mhm.
There's yours isn't being reciprocated. You're not filling your glass back up. So that is
Mhm.
so true. We have to take care of ourselves. We
Yeah.
have to.
And the point of the glass is for it to overflow. It has to overflow into other glasses or it has to overflow into something else. Because the
Yeah.
problem is we'll do a little bit and then we didn't gave it to our husband, to our man,
Mm.
to our
Oh yeah.
kids, to our work, to the boss. And then
Mm.
because I deal with a lot of women and I feel like it's very sad. Like, and this is just my personal opinion, but I stand 10 toes down about this. Because I feel like this, whether I'm in a relationship or not, you have to date yourself. The same
Mm.
way I say these products are romanticizing your life, that's part of it.
Uh-huh.
That means put some clothes on, do a little makeup. If you don't know how to do no makeup, it's fine. Do your little lashes, do your eyebrows. With
Mhm.
Go outside of your man and them kids. I have seen so many people and clients that are so codependent on their
Yes.
people and I hate it for them because it's
Mm.
like you shouldn't be that codependent that when I say come on let's do a girl trip you like I don't want to go anywhere without my man or my kid. Girl, they're gonna be here when you get back. I promise they're not going nowhere. They're gonna be here.
Yes,
Like
they will be. Yes, they will.
they ain't
I
going
used
nowhere.
to I used to tell my friend, you know what? I used to love to sneak out late at night and go to a movie. And he would go, you didn't go by yourself. I'm like, yes, I did. Why wouldn't I?
Every time. Look, every time I always tell people honestly, for me, so I purpose myself once a month. I skipped this month because this month was my anniversary month, so it was a lot going on. But I purpose myself once a month, literally to do what I said, where I put
Mm.
my clothes on, I do my makeup, I like
Mm.
get real cute. I literally will make
You
dinner
should get
reservations for
real
myself.
cute.
Oh, I get real cute. Look, real cute. Lashes, full face, everything. And I'll make sometimes I'll do like I think last time I went to like a podcast and then after the podcast I went and had dinner and
Uh,
drink. And look, and the thing is, let me tell y'all something about going out to eat by yourself. When you look good, it's usually somebody that might pay for your stuff. I'm just saying. Look, you might get lucky that night. Yeah, you ain't gotta do no exchange, no numbers, nothing. Sometimes they just be like, I'm gonna just pay for your stuff because I just want you to have a good night. Yeah. I'm just telling you, just do it. It's the best feeling.
Miss Lakeisha said, great advice. She's making sure that she start pouring into herself. Yes, you do that. You definitely, you
Please do.
deserve it.
Yes.
In 2026, Erica was honored with the Confidence in Action Award, recognizing women who led with purpose, strength, and impact within their communities and industries. Yes, yes, yes. Tell us about that, Miss Erica.
That was an amazing event and an amazing award. And it was amazing because I was honored, so like anything, it came out the blue. And
Mm,
I'll be a little, I ain't gonna lie, this one I be having my little slow moments because when stuff come up, I'll be like, me? You want me? And they be like, yeah, Erica. So she basically, was telling me, she was like, Erica, as much as you pour back into people, as much as you show up on, even social media. She was like, girl, that alone ain't easy. I'm like, yeah, it's not.
mm,
But she was like, you pour so much into women, and she said the main thing you always talk about is women being confident. Women, like I tell people, I like when we piggyback off of what we were talking about earlier when I told you I got into the business in the beginning for money. Now, if you would have asked me that when I first started, I'm going to tell you it was the money. But if you ask me to this day, it don't got nothing to do with waxing. It don't got
mm,
nothing to do. It really has something to do with like I love women to feel good about themselves. I love a woman that is just so confident in everything
mhm.
she do, even when she feels like she's drowning. Like you
Yeah,
gotta understand that even when you're drowning, it don't matter because the push through is where your confidence goes because okay, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. All right, it's gonna
yeah,
work out. All right, I'm gonna lose some pounds. All right, I'm gonna do right. That's where
right.
your confidence ain't just because you showing up this. Your confidence is when you don't want to do it. When you don't
Mm,
want to be there, when you don't want to show up. Because I can name several times I didn't want to show up. I didn't want to post. I didn't
yes,
want to. I want to cancel all the clients on the book. I ain't gonna hold you because I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I'm in a state I don't feel like it. That's where the
One of
confidence
those
comes
days
in
when you
at.
couldn't get out of bed, but you got out. Yes,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I'd like to know, do you have any events coming up or anything that our audience can need to be aware of?
I have I'm actually throwing a influencer event in Atlanta. It's like an invite only type of event, this specifically for my products. I also have a wellness day that I'm being actually honored at June 25th, from 4 to 7. It is in Washington, D.C. Um, what else do I got? Because girl, I be feeling like I got a thousand things. Let me see. I'm going to be at the Black Spot Expo in Miami, September 11th through the 14th. I'm actually putting together to throw my own events there as well.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, Eric, look, I'll be trying to make a little, 1-2 shake.
You're getting out
But
there. You're promoting your product, and you know what? And you wonder why they calling on Erica.
well, you gotta get it. I ain't gonna be real. It's hard work, but it's worth it. I will honestly say it's worth every moment, every tear, every prayer. It's worth everything. You just gotta keep going. You just gotta
That
keep
is
going.
true. So, where can our audience find you again, Erica, or find your products, your website? I know you mentioned you're on Instagram, but where can they find your products?
Products on opulentskinbar.com. That's OPULENT skinbar.com, and all my products as well as the different scents as well. Everything's natural and organic. I made sure of that. So yeah, come have a martini with me.
Okay, you heard that. So, did I miss anything? Is there anything else you needed to share with us today before we get going?
Um, no, I think you covered like everything. Look, you covered stuff. I was like, wait a minute, let me make sure I got my thoughts together.
So I'd like to ask, how has your experience been with Swagger thus far?
Amazing. Y'all did great. Love the interview. Love the interview. Love the interaction. Definitely y'all do not play when y'all mean detail. which I love because that's how
Wonderful.
you got to be detailed. Yeah,
Okay,
but I love.
Miss Francesca and Jamel out there, they be doing the thing.
Oh yeah, they do. They definitely do. So, and I love that y'all stand for women. Like
Yes.
it has to be, and I feel like men too. So I ain't gonna say that, but I'm specifically talking about women because I'm in the field. Like pouring back even into other business entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. First of all, it's not easy because, like you said, you have a lot of people that they don't want to collab, they don't want to,
Mhm.
work together. But it's power in numbers, and I think
Yes,
a lot of
that's
people have lost that. Like it is power in numbers. So I feel like what y'all have going on is a beautiful thing because it's rare. Everybody can't do it and everybody don't last. So that's
right.
the biggest thing. So I would say I enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 experience.
Awesome. Awesome. It was a pleasure having you here, Miss Jefferson. And we look forward to hearing more for opulent and everything and snatch bodies and everything else that you're doing out there, and keep up the great work and keep supporting our next generations because it's definitely needed.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you all for joining us here today on Live with Swagger. And I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.